Hi there, my name is Jason Perkins, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode in my Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. I'm an attorney that specializes in Georgia workers' compensation cases. I created this series of videos to provide people with helpful information about Georgia's workers' compensation law and the benefits available to them under that law. Today I want to talk to you about workers' compensation car wrecks, a particular type of injury that might happen at work. If you're injured in a car wreck at work, a lot of times when this happens is if your job involves you driving out in the car a lot. Or it might happen when you're coming to work or you're leaving from work. Maybe you're in a company vehicle. Perhaps you're on your lunch break and going to get lunch. And the question a lot of times is whether these things are covered by workers' compensation or not. So I'd like to talk to you about two particular things that you need to look at when you're injured in a car wreck at work. The first thing to consider is whether there may be other types of benefits available to you in addition to workers' compensation benefits. One of the most common types is a personal injury case. And when this comes about, when you suffer an injury at work and it's someone else's fault, you have this car wreck and someone else caused the car wreck. Now, this can happen a few different ways. If the car wreck was caused by your employer or a co-employee, then there's a good chance you don't have a personal injury case. Workers' compensation may be your exclusive remedy. However, if the car wreck was the fault of somebody else who wasn't your employer or co-employee, then you may have a personal injury case in addition to your workers' compensation case. Georgia law allows you potentially to have both where the fault was caused by somebody who wasn't your employer or co-employee. So that's definitely something that you need to look into and consider, because there's benefits that could be available to you in the personal injury case that aren't available to you in the workers' compensation case. And you can pursue both. The second thing that you need to look into is whether you're going to be able to return to work after you recover from your injuries. Now, if you're injured in a car wreck, then that may mean that you're someone who does a lot of driving at work. And there are certain types of injuries that can make it difficult to do that sort of work afterward. If you suffer an injury to your low back and you have to spend a lot of time in your car driving, you may find it difficult to drive long distances afterward if you continue to have problems. Also, if that injury affects your legs, it could make it difficult to drive. Or certain types of arm injuries can do the same thing. If you suffer a head injury, then the doctor may say that it's not safe for you to drive. So these are things you want to consider after a car wreck injury as well. The third thing to be aware of is that sometimes employers or workers' compensation insurance companies deny workers' compensation claims for car wrecks. There's a few different reasons that they might do that. Sometimes they might say that you're not actually on the job when you have the car wreck, if you're on your way to work or if you're leaving work at the end of the day, or if you're out on your lunch break. On other times, they may claim that the car wreck was caused by your willful misconduct. Now, in Georgia workers' compensation cases, even if you were negligent and suffered a car wreck injury, usually that would still be covered under workers' compensation, because in order to receive workers' compensation benefits, in most situations it's okay if the injury happened and it was your fault. But there are some types of injuries that are excluded, what are called willful misconduct type injuries. And sometimes the insurance company might offer that if you violated some rules or laws, or you were speeding or something like that, that your injury was caused by willful misconduct, and try to deny it. If the insurance company denies your case in a car wreck, a company vehicle, or otherwise associated with your work, then certainly I would encourage you to reach out to an attorney who specializes in workers' compensation to find out whether that denial was proper or not. I hope you found this information about workers' compensation car wrecks helpful. If you have, please let me know that by liking this video or giving it a thumbs up. And if you want more information about Georgia workers' compensation law, I'd encourage you to visit our Perkins Studdard channel on YouTube, where you can view all the videos from the Georgia workers' compensation video series. Now, you may have some specific questions about your workers' compensation case. If you do, I think it's very important to get answers to them. One of the biggest mistakes I see people making is not getting answers to their questions when they need to, and then waiting till it's too late when something's been messed up and can't be fixed. So if you have some questions, I'd encourage you to reach out and get a free consultation about your case. If you'd like to set up a free consultation with me, there's two easy ways you can do that. The first is by visiting our website, which is www.perkinsstuddard.com, where you can complete and submit our free consultation request form, and we'll get one set up for you. The other way is by calling us at the phone number on the bottom of the screen, and someone from our workers' compensation team will be happy to set up a time for you to talk with me for free. I'd like to thank you again for watching this video today, and we want to wish you the best of luck as you recover from your injury.